Welcome to our Thursday night live stream.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two crazy ketos.
Got to turn on that microphone.
Make sure you can hear us. I want Tony Johnson, who's in the house, to be able to hear us as we sing our precious friend happy birthday. You ready?
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tony. Happy birthday to you and many more. So many more. Love you so much. I saw that you were wrapping up final cardio heart health appointments. So many she's been through. So proud of you.
I did. I put it.
Did you put it upside down?
Yeah, I got to fix that.
I like your swanky new 3D print. Look at this, Matt Franklin. Look at you printed this.
I did.
So excited. We look very fancy. If we're nothing else, we're very fancy.
We are fancy. I try to be fancy.
I like it. You made me the most beautiful. Oh, are we buffering? You made us the most.
We're not buffering.
Okay.
Maybe somebody's. If you're buffering, it's either your internet. Try refreshing your thing.
Beautiful.
If anybody else lets me know it's buffering, but it says up there we have an excellent connection.
Brooder. I'll get it out. You got me a beautiful brooder that you made.
Yes.
For the chickie babies.
That's because we upped our hatching game. We got an incubator that's capable of 180 eggs at a time. And I don't know if Stacy is in here. I'm going to hit Stacy up for some eggs. We can do up to 468 quail eggs in a set. And
you got to share keto.
I did.
Yeah. Got to share keto with somebody that you were getting the incubator from, which is always our desire. You never know how the conversation is going to come up.
No.
Right? You have this plan. This is who I'm going to share it with. You have this person in mind. A lot of times it's a family member, it's a close friend, it's a neighbor. And then out of nowhere, there's somebody else to share it with instead.
That's right.
It's so cool.
So welcome to our Thursday live stream. If you are new here, our Thursday live streams are a chance to hang out with our community and answer questions about keto and carnivore. If you have a question, go ahead and type question and then whatever your question is, or you can use the super chat functions if you don't want us to miss it. And you can do that by hitting a little $sign down below in the chat window. When you do that, it does help benefit our channel. But more importantly, it is going to highlight our screen. This way we don't miss your question.
Matt saying, flash those beautiful nails. Sarah, Joy, and Matt
this is annoying me now.
Franklin came over to the house, shared their day off with us, and Sarah Joy brought her gorgeous collection of nail polishes, fancy nail polishes. And this is one of them. She painted my nails and didn't judge me for how short my nails are, that's a good friend, right?
Shimmer of Diamond said, if you buffer and you know it, check your screen. If you buffer and you know it, check your screen. If you buffer. Chris wants to know if you're going to COSI.
Am I going to COSI?
I don't know.
We don't know. It's totally.
We really haven't thought that far ahead.
It's really got a lot to do with De Niro, to be honest, and not Robert De Niro, but just if he's there, that'd be great to meet him.
I definitely can't go because we're in the middle of lacrosse season and I already don't get to work as many games as I used to, and I'm taking a week off to go to Indiana, so I really can't take another week off.
I would love to go, but I need a plane ticket.
Yeah.
So if someone has a plane, I'll go with them.
Miriam likes the microphones.
Thank you.
3D printed.
Chris.
I really wanted mic flags. That's what these are called. They're called mic flags. I really wanted mic flags, but they're expensive.
Yes.
Mic flags are expensive. So I'm like, why can't I just go ahead and 3D print them? So I designed them and 3D printed them. Chris said, are you going to make a version of the microphone things that go on your EG4 logo that has the EG4 logo on them? Why would I want to advertise for the EG4?
You just want to advertise for us? I think what put it over the top was just going to Dr. Kiltz's beautiful set.
Mm-hmm.
Most beautiful sets.
In his house.
It was amazing.
Yes.
It was so lovely.
He made me feel good. from when you used
He
to
makes
walk into our house.
everybody feel
No, but
good.
I mean, when in our old house, when you would walk in, you literally walked in, bam, there's a studio. When you walk into Dr. Kiltz's house, bam, there's a studio in the middle. And then he has a black curtain that he pulls out
It's so smart.
when you want to do a podcast so that you don't see the rest of the house.
It was just so awesome. And Dr. Kiltz is just such a lovely man.
Yes.
He has the joy down in his heart. Yes. Down in his heart. Yes. Like he is just full of joy.
Oh, Chris said because the EG4 logo, which is, by the way, you don't even know what the EG4 is. That's the company that
I don't.
That's the company that makes the whatchamacallit that we have.
Keto Life Granny in the house. So good to see you, young lady. I love it. Andrew's here from Alaska.
One thing that I do not like about the EG4 mini split is that if you turn it on with the app, the remote doesn't know that. So like now, if I hit the remote button because I use the app, it's going to go to whatever the last thing the remote was on, which is heat. Then you have to kind of switch it back over. It's easier to actually use the app.
This is your last reminder that on Saturday it's Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Like you got to get with it.
Newsflash.
Like, don't wait till the last second.
Newsflash. Your Valentine's present is that brooder that I just spent all day.
Well, that's exactly. I totally
just
shouted
so you
that
know,
out.
I did not get you a
Also,
Valentine's
to be
Day
fair, you did a while back. This was like, I want to say it was maybe the 1st of January, came in with a new hairdryer and said, Happy Valentine's Day to me.
Yes.
So, hairdryer.
So let us know if you have any questions or comments or anything about keto or carnivore. Otherwise, we do have a topic that we're happy to talk about, which is calories. They matter, sort of.
Sort of.
Andy said, I haven't eaten in 24 hours, but it was not planned. Norovirus got me today.
Oh, no.
Thankfully, my tummy is feeling better. Having a yucky morning.
I am so sorry. You know, sometimes this is connected to grandchildren. They are carrier monkeys.
Yes.
Like you come in contact with the little kiddos and like where they go. And let me tell you, we've had some odd stuff over the years. It's not just grandkids, but it's also like kids ministry. Woo! Yeah. There was some weird stuff. I was really, we definitely noticed a difference after keto as far as how many times we got sick. It went from being constantly sick to sick twice a year.
I'll tell you what, for some reason, we are still on the email list for Coastal.
Okay.
Like looking for volunteers.
Aww.
And so I got an email today listing the long list of volunteers that kids ministry needs this weekend.
Did your heart like?
And I was like,
it took you
I'm
back.
so glad I'm not doing kids ministry anymore. I mean, I love doing kids ministry,
panic.
But running kids ministry
and challenging
and volunteering in kids ministry, 2 totally different things.
6 services
volunteering
a week.
is great. Running it, and every week you've got a list of 20 people who aren't showing up or people that you don't have in rooms, and there's like 4 people in every room she needs volunteers for.
This is your sign.
Don't miss that.
This is your sign that if you're not volunteering someplace, but you have it in your mind, like, I think I should volunteer at this place. Go volunteer at this place. They need you. They absolutely need you. They need your warm body. They need your specific talent. They need your desire to be a help. Like, it is just whatever it is that's in your mind that you're like, man, I've been thinking I should volunteer at this animal shelter, at this soup kitchen, at my church. Like, go do that thing. Because we're keto, we can go for longer stretches out and about.
Yes.
I love that.
Okay, Shimmer of Diamond, I random keto chow question. I made fat bombs with coconut oil, butter, and keto chow, but I wasn't too crazy about the texture. Can I do it with butter and keto chow? Yes. Just be aware that the texture is going to be it's going to be like butter. So if you have an in room temperature, that's definitely something you're going to want to store in your refrigerator and eat them cold. If you were to put them on your counter, think about what happens when you put butter out on your counter. It will affect it a little bit. It will make it slightly harder because of the keto chow, and because keto chow has sodium in it, but it's still going to be pretty soft to the touch. So I would just store them in the fridge. I don't know. Let me know what you're talking about with the texture of the coconut oil. Part of the problem with coconut oil is because again, it's like butter at 75 or 76 degrees, it becomes a liquid. So it could be even softer at room temperature than using butter.
We actually judge.
And I don't think you need all the extra fat from it.
We judge comfort in the house by the coconut oil.
Yes.
Because if the coconut oil
should be melted at all times in the house.
That's what Joe says. The Mr. Air Conditioner control guy. But if I see it like a clear liquid, he knows it's time to turn the air conditioning on.
So interesting. I put a new mini split on the homesteading channel. We have a video coming out on the install of it. It's from a company called Turbo, which is the same company that makes the air conditioner installed in our RV.
I'm loving it.
And it is amazing. And it's cheap, like 12K unit, $500.
Fraction of the price. And we've used a lot of mini splits over the years. Let me tell you.
Like, I'm gonna get another one for my office because it's like $400 for a 9K one, and it's got a dehumidify function and a heater. But Rachel was loving it because in my testing, I was trying to test how many amps it draws, and so it's funny. It only draws 6.5 amps. When it's running in the cool mode. And if you put the fan on low, it's only drawing like 4 amps. So it draws like no electricity. Like the ceiling fan in our bedroom draws as much electricity as the air conditioner. So no reason to ever run the ceiling fan anymore. But I wanted to test how many amps does it draw when you turn on the heater function. So I was like, well, now what do I do? So I basically made the bedroom blistering cold, dropped it to 60 degrees. And I was supposed to go back out and actually test, with my meters to see how much electric, and I never got around to it. But you have enjoyed the bedroom being at 60 degrees.
I have loved it.
It's like an ice cube.
Because it was been back to warm. Bob had a really good question.
I'm going to go back to the first question. So Bob's got a couple questions about that.
Is sugar and dextrose the same?
Is sugar and dextrose the same thing? Yes and no.
That's not helpful at all.
Is dextrose a sugar? Yes. Does dextrose raise your blood sugar? Yes, and in many cases, worse than sugar. Is it the same exact substance? No. Is dextrose another word for sugar? Kind of. It's a different type of sugar, but it is still a sugar.
Like
sugar's got like 50 somewhat different words. There's always more words coming out for sugar. It's just a different type of sugar, but your body still treats it like sugar. To move on to your next question, which is sausage with sugar or dextrose the same thing? So when you make sausage, generally there is a little bit of dextrose or a little bit of sugar. It's part of the curing process. I like to look at how much is in there. If it's like 1 gram, so if you go buy Jimmy Dean sausages, if it's like 1 or 2 grams of carbs, which is coming from sugar, I don't worry about that because, again, it's part of the process of making the sausage. When you make sausage, they have to use something for the process. A lot of times it's going to be dried milk and some type of a sugar or a dextrose solution. What I would stay away from in sausage is like the sweet sausages. Like don't buy maple sausage. That's where the sugar in there is out of control. Look at it the same way with bacon. And Dr. Berry has talked about this too. Yes, there are some sugar-free bacons out there, but most bacon is going to have a little bit of sugar. Again, it's part of the curing process. It's like when you make yogurt, you have to have sugar in there. When you make kimchi, there's usually some kind of sugar in there. It's part of the fermentation process. That comes down to how much. So if you're buying bacon, 1 carb for a reasonable serving is not bad. So a reasonable serving would be 2 slices.
Usually if I see like a hot dog or a sausage and it's like, you'll
almost never find a hot dog without dextrose or something in it.
But if I see it's got like 4, 5, sometimes 10 carbs for 1 link, then the sugar in that is like up, up, up. And then I usually avoid that. I saw the birthday girl, Tony, has a question. There's so many EVOO oils out there. How do you pick a good one?
I like like you said, if you don't know what EVOO is, for anybody's asked, that's extra virgin olive oil. This is one of the ones where I begin to look at packaging. I prefer, I'd rather not have one in plastic. That's another whole video in itself is the problem with plastic. Not such a big deal with oil, but I'm still try to avoid plastic when possible. It is really impossible to avoid all plastic. But I would prefer my extra virgin olive oil to either be in glass or in an aluminum container, and you want it to be dark glass.
Right.
You want it to, you don't
like
want
green or something,
because if the light can get into that begins the oxidation process. So it should be in something like either a very dark glass, usually it's green, or a can, so that stuff can't get in there. And then from there, just kind of pay attention to the names. I think Bertolli makes a really good extra virgin olive oil, and then you can get into the fancy versions and stuff like that. Make sure it's cold pressed. That's one of the number one things is make sure it's cold pressed.
There is a lot of like fancy shops now I see popping up all over the place in malls that are selling.
Yeah, there's one in the Sarasota mall.
And so I would still be looking at storage and not just good marketing. Make sure you're asking them like, how are they storing it? How are they sending it home to you?
And Joe would be wrong. What is that about?
You'd be wrong about coconut oil needing to be melty. Like basically keeping the hot house, the house
Miriam
hot.
said she's never seen coconut oil melted in the container. Come out to our shipping container.
Because her husband loves her and keeps it at
No, it's because they live in Utah.
I know, but it's probably never as hot.
The funniest thing is that I have a bunch of coconut oil. So I had a couple of things and we had them stored in the shipping container. And, so I went out one time and I see in my jars of coconut oil, like these little white dots just up along the glass because it's in mason jars like this. And it's like little white flecks. I thought it was like mold, but what it was it was beginning to solidify, and it solidifies in the form of pellets. That becomes one of the texture issues with coconut oil and keto chow. So if you're going to use coconut oil in keto chow, you have to treat it like it's butter. You have to melt it. That's number one. And then you have to use warm water and you have to blend it really well, actually better than butter. You have to really run it at a high speed. Otherwise, what happens is the coconut oil, when it gets cold, becomes little tiny pellets and you get these little wax type texture things in your mouth. It reminds me of when you would chew those. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Remember the little candy things where there was a drink and then you would chew it, or wax? That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
And so, so that's one of the problems. Andy said, Miriam said our coconut oil is solid. I forget the actual temperature. It's like 75 or 76 degrees.
Lynn said her Ninja Creamy lid broke today. Oh, that's awful.
Andrew said I didn't know coconut oil could melt. It never where you're at. Not in Alaska. It's not going to. Shimmer of Diamond said, I bit down and I felt like I was going through a layer of something before I actually got the actual bar. Yeah, it didn't blend that well. That is one of the problems with it. It just jumped. Tony said, when we lived in Phoenix, Arizona, we saw liquid coconut oil often. Yeah, in Florida, like if you go to the store, most of the time it's either like in Costco, it's either a liquid or very, very soft. It's like on the verge of becoming liquid. Chris said, I will repeat, all organic molecules have a left and a right version that are mirror images. Dextrose is just another common name for D-glucose as opposed to L-glucose.
Fun fact, humans can't metabolize L-glucose. It still tastes the same, but it just comes out the other end. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts.
Juliana said, I lived in Paso 3 years,
El Paso.
120 degrees at 6 p.m. My coconut oil was still solid. If you love Ray, keep her coconut oil
Amen.
solid.
You know, I will say congratulations to Juliana for raising her children right. Here we are during like the Olympic, you know, time. And she's like, we are Team America for everything except for the bobsledding race because we are Team Jamaica. And she had her children watch Cool Runnings, which I love that movie. That was such a good movie. What a great thing to watch like during the Olympics. And she actually pushed past the fact that, of course, when you start the movie and you're wanting to have this beautiful experience with your kids, they're like, ew, this movie's old. It's like, shut up. We're making a memory right now.
John said, yeah, mini splits are crazy efficient. My electric bill in the summer is 0 thanks to 2,600 watts of solar in my in-bill, and it gets sub-zero cold here. Is $250 in the summer and January. Before the minis, it was $600.
Are we going to post the upcoming meetup in Indiana on lowcarbevents.com? We probably should.
Probably should do that.
Yeah, we'll do that. Thanks for that reminder, Stephanie.
Denise said, I fired my husband's doctor this week. He told my husband no salt. I told him I did not agree with this. He said he was not going to debate this and dismiss me.
Oh, that was his second mistake. His first one was about the salt, but the second one, dismissing you? Nope.
Chris said, which meetup? So we're going to be meeting, we're going in Elkhart on, March 2nd at 6 p.m. at Smokin' Fatty's Barbecue.
So Meaty Fan said, what's the best time of year to buy a tasty air fryer? The current deal is $25 off. Thinking about buying the ceramic coated.
I have yet to see a deal better than what our link and coupon code gives you.
Yeah.
So when they have a deal, it generally, their best deal has never been better than our coupon code. Usually it matches our coupon code. So we do have a coupon code, 2 Crazy Ketos. There should be a link down below in the description, and I would just use that. I would also, yes, spend the extra money and get the ceramic.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about it flaking. It's just, ceramic is so much better than any kind of coating, even though I know that their old version, the original version, their economy version, whatever you want to call it, it's Teflon coated, but it doesn't have as many chemicals. It's still Teflon. It can still flake. We use ours constantly. Because especially I am really on top of electric, especially during our peak hours, because during our peak hours, we pay 25 cents a kilowatt. So I'm fanatical about not using the oven during peak hours. And right now, peak hours is dinner time.
Always.
6 to 10 p.m.
Yes.
So
yeah. So no, I really enjoy the tasty air fryer. I love the fact that because again, I'm not the chef of the family. And so it's nice that I can cook whatever I want.
Yeah.
Easily. When we're going to Indiana and we're in our RV, the tasty air fryer is always with us.
Yeah. Storm Chasing Hell, how's your kitty? Do you want him? You can have him. I'll give him to you cheap.
He is awesome, but he is wild.
He is named wrong.
He is named wrong.
Should have been named like Mischief.
I know, but don't call something what you don't want it to act like.
Okay.
So
well, then what does Maisie mean? Because
he's gonna grow up.
It must mean wild.
Well, because
he's a good cat. He's just wild.
He is sweet.
He's a
baby.
He's busy.
When he calms down, then he's lovely.
Again, we took him to get fixed, and upon picking him up, they said
he's a character.
That cat's a character.
What a character. You never want to hear that about your pet, your children, when like there's a play date, or your kid is in the carpool with some other family, and when you meet back up with that family and they say your kid's a character. Like,
so I did see something, and I can't find it now, from Robin F.
Robin F.
So she said, maybe your topic overlaps with my confusion about a video I saw recently that said that dietary fat raises insulin enough that it would convert it to body fat. You'd have to send me the link to that video, because I don't get that. Because dietary fat doesn't raise insulin. I mean, you will have an insulin reaction, but not much. but it kind of could tie into today. So if you overeat dietary fat, then it will go to body fat. So that's kind of like, today I kind of put in there, we were trying to figure out that we want Thursday live streams to be about community, but we also want to talk about keto and carnivore. And so I was like, well, if nobody has questions, we'll just come up with a topic. So the thing is that when it comes to any eating lifestyle, but especially on keto, like you hear a lot of people say calories don't matter, which is true, sort of. The reason I say sort of is because what matters more is the amount of energy you're eating. When you're just looking at calories, most people are looking at their overall intake of calories. The problem is they're including in there protein calories. And you have to understand the way the body works. So the body will that you have the thermogenic effect of food, which means the body, when it's consuming protein, it takes a lot of energy to turn protein into fuel. The problem with protein is your body can't store it. So it's going to use it and then use the amino acids, and it's going to use it for repair. So when you're consuming protein, if you consume a high protein and a high fat diet, then your body never needs to tap into stored body fat. So the trick is finding that threshold that's good for you. So if you are trying to lose weight on keto, you want to eat a moderate amount of protein, and then you want to eat enough fat where your body can function, but a little bit less than what it actually needs.
Right.
And that's the key. So where you could have dietary fat turning into body fat is if you are eating a high protein, high fat diet. So let's say you're eating 300 grams of protein a day and 250 grams of fat a day. Well, that's over 3,000 calories. Most of us are not going to burn 3,000 calories. So the excess is going to turn into body fat. What's interesting is the excess protein doesn't necessarily turn into body fat. It ends up turning into glucose through gluconeogenesis. And then that becomes an issue because you begin spiking your blood sugars.
I think it's interesting that we like extremes. When we get started, I think a lot of times on keto, we come in fresh from diet mentality. And so we're super, super worried about calories. We come in and we're like, dude, I've only been, having 1,200 calories or 1,100 calories on any diet that I've been doing in order for myself to lose weight. And so now I come keto and I'm just bringing that mentality into it. And I feel like when people are getting started, we have to talk them down off the ledge, like, calm down with the calories. You need to eat enough in your body to get used to this fuel source. Don't worry about the calories right now. You need to eat and get satiated and get in touch with your hunger, and your satiation hormones, because it's been a while. You've been ignoring that, right? You haven't been listening to your body. And also the food that we've been eating has been giving us mixed signals anyway, right? So when you first get started, you have to talk people down off the ledge of overcounting their fuel. Then when you've been keto a while, I feel like then you have to come back and say, dude, it's not just a free flow of just eating and we never stop eating because it's keto. Like, for instance, today and yesterday, we were rendering down the fat from the pig that we had to process. And at the end of rendering all of that beautiful fat, we had a whole bunch of cracklins, right? Pork cracklins.
Which most people don't realize, pork cracklins is not the skin.
No.
That is the fat. So I actually, there's two kinds of fat in a pig. You have the back fat, which is between the skin and, the meat. And then you have leaf lard, which is the fat around the kidneys, kind of fat that we don't want.
We don't want that.
Right? The interesting thing is on a pig, the leaf lard is the coveted fat. Mm-hmm. That is the fat that when it's rendered down, is like pretty much odorless, tasteless. It's the pork fat that you would use in baking because it doesn't have an odor, it doesn't have a taste, and it doesn't have a color. It's like pure white.
Right.
Back fat is the fat where you would use that for cooking. You can use it for soap. Candles, you use a combination. The back fat, when you render that down, so it's kind of hard when you trim it off. And when you render it down, you get this liquid gold.
It's
which
amazing.
is pork fat, like rendered pork lard. And then as the fat comes off, it basically shrivels up and it falls to the bottom. And that is cracklins. It's pure fat.
So we have this huge.
Did you take those out of the oven, by the way?
I did.
Okay.
We had this huge.
Did you eat them all?
This is what I'm getting to.
Okay.
So we are crisping it up in the oven even more. Every single bite of those pork cracklins is magic. I mean, it's absolutely so delicious. Perfectly keto, perfectly carnivore, if you'd like to go there with it, okay? But even though I can and have a desire to eat the entire tray of these pork cracklins.
Fortunately, we didn't have that much.
I don't need to do that. And didn't do that.
Right.
And as I'm eating, because I was eating, dinner, we had made a beautiful chicken.
I covered them in what did I use? I used why am I
the caramelized onion flavor?
No, I did. Was that what you put on there? I put plucked seasoning on it.
So it's so good. Okay. And again, totally keto carnivore, right? So there's nothing wrong with the ingredient. But do I need at dinner time just a bowl of fat?
Right.
No.
And it's not going to fill you up.
It would no. So it's important that just because, like, yes, counting calories is foolish if you're not going to do a deep dive into what am I getting for those calories? What is the nutrition? What do these calories represent as far as nutrient density goes? And what do you actually need? So I knew, man, I want to go straight for a bowl of that fat. But I know I have to be like, stop, go get your protein in. Go eat your protein. And then that fat is just a little bit of is icing on the keto cake.
And that's the problem that people make on keto, and the mistake they make is keto should be, your focus should be protein. And then you do need to consume fat, but fat is the lever. The mistake that people make when it comes to counting calories is they slash their calories and then they're not even eating enough protein. Like if you're going to slash calories, first of all, nobody should be eating under 14 or 1,500 calories. But if you're going where you end up with bad stalls is where you slash your calories, including a lot of protein.
Right.
So if you're going to slash calories, like you've still got to make sure you're getting in that protein, and then you've got to be consuming some fat, but not more fat than your body needs, because otherwise your body never taps into the body fat. And that's the issue that people make, where they are, slashing calories and they're looking across the board. You've still got to have that protein thing. And that's why the best place to start is 1 gram of protein to 1 gram of fat. Or 1 gram of fat to 1 gram of protein. You should not be consuming, if you're trying to lose weight, like 50 grams of fat and 400 grams of protein. But you also, if you're trying to lose weight, your fat should not be much more than a protein, if at all.
Well, and I get that from a lot
especially if your protein is less than 100 to 150 grams.
There's a lot of people that I talk to that will tell me how hard it is for them to eat protein, but they will eat plenty of fat bombs. They're going to put lots of cream in their coffee. Everything is topped with cheese. They're able to eat nuts completely fine. That's all fat. That's all a bunch of fat.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, you can get some protein.
You don't have a
shut-off
mechanism for.
You don't have a shut-off mechanism. A lot of it is just, it's hyper palatable. It's very desirable to eat. You've got a crunch, you have a texture thing that's going on. And so that could be a challenge. And I understand, like, people can get frustrated, especially from a diet mentality, that Weight Watchers made you believe that if you ate certain foods, they didn't count. they were just 0.
It's the stupidest thing I
And
ever
we are
saw.
looking for the keto equivalent of that. Give me something that I can eat for just as much as I want, and I don't have to even think about it, and I can just eat
I
all
have
day
something.
long. What?
Water.
Right. Well, I mean, you can't eat that. You know, I guess you could eat ice, but it's going to hurt your teeth after a while. But like, that is a lie. The lie began with Weight Watchers. Stop looking for something in keto to do that. We shouldn't have to eat all day long.
Yeah.
We just shouldn't have to do that. And I understand that, you know, but it reminds me of, you know, when you're getting a kid to start reading, you just want them to read for fun. You want them to enjoy it. Read as much, read whatever subject matter that you want. Read, because we want you to enjoy what you're doing and get used to the fact that you're going to need to read for yourself. But as you get older, as you graduate up the grades, we start having more directed reading. You have reading where you've got to answer questions about it. You've got reading where you got to take tests on it, right? You've got reading for proficiency and you've got to do reports on it, right? So as you get more graduated in this, there should be an expectation that things adjust.
Yeah. And for the protein, again, you need to be consuming protein is the most important macronutrient, especially on a keto and carnivore lifestyle. That is the most important macronutrient. And I got in trouble with Rachel, but I'm going to say it again. But I got in trouble with saying this a couple weeks ago. It makes me cringe when someone goes, I can't get 80 to 100 grams of protein in. I just can't eat that much. And again, are you telling me that pre-keto, you could not eat 4 quarter pounders from McDonald's in an entire day? Now you're not even eating the bread. So you can't eat the meat off of 4 quarter pounders from McDonald's, not even including the cheese? Well, like I find that very hard to believe. Like, we actually had somebody the other day message us and say
10 eggs.
There's no way I can eat 10 eggs. Over the whole course of an entire day? I mean, if you eat a dozen eggs in a day, that's about 78 grams of protein, a dozen eggs. If that is it may not be a fun thing to eat, but 4 eggs 3 times a day is not that much food if you're not eating any other food.
My thought is immediately your eating window is too small.
It's either A, your eating window is too small, or B, you're eating other stuff.
Right.
That is filling you up. If you struggle to get in protein, then nothing else should be in your diet other than the protein with the fat. There should be 0 carbohydrates, 0 vegetables, 0 snacks until you can get that 100 grams of protein in.
Because and again, it's like, I'm not trying to be mean. I mean, that's why I always get on Joe, because I want him to just be nice to everybody. But he's right. We're not doing anybody a service if I just say, you know what, probably for you probably don't need as much protein. I know you need protein. Right. I don't want you to be upset with me because I'm emphatic about it. But the truth is you need this, especially if you want bone density, if you want muscles, if you want
getting older,
longevity, like, find a way to get it in.
And if you're on a GLP-1, it should be even higher.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back into some of this chat. John said, I wish they made ceramic inserts for the air fryer. We actually had a call with Tasty the other day. I'm going to message her because I've been messaging them back and forth because I think that they're going to be working on some new products, which is kind of exciting. She kind of told us, but didn't tell us. She kind of left a lot up. Like, there's a lot of cool new things coming. Like, what? I'm not going to tell you yet. But one of the, I really would like them to at least begin offering the air fryer basket that is ceramic for people who have the old version.
Yes.
That would be a cool thing. So I'm going to mention that to them, and that a lot of people want that.
And I know that it's interchangeable because we had the old one.
Yes.
And I accidentally.
They sent it to us originally. Remember, they just sent us the basket to tell them when we tested it for them.
Yeah.
Storm Casing Gal, Joe's cup isn't big enough. This is all of our glasses because they're twofold, right? So we can use them when we want to store like fat, like when we make mayonnaise, or if we want to drink. So we just have a whole cabinet full of, I'm going to make mayonnaise. Just grab a jar. And then we have like all of the lids, and we just buy new cover pieces. If you're going to can in them, I just have the jars. I just got to go buy new lids for them. Let's see. I saw another
Bob
question.
says, have you posted your MSC cruise?
I'm almost done editing it. We had a rough few days over the weekend between, we had issues with, here at the farm, and then Winston getting murdered. I'm sorry if he got murdered, and then having to process him and everything else. We just had a lot going on, and then we had a whole bunch of chickens hatch out, so I had to get that brooder done. But I'm almost done. I should be done editing it tomorrow. We have to voice over the walkthrough is what we really need to do. Carla, my daughter was referred to an endo appointment. Tuesday was awful. No labs. Didn't ask about diet, which makes no sense to me. Stated T2 is progressive. Meds given when A1C is 6.5. Nothing she can do. I was furious. So that, to me, that's malpractice. I mean, when a doctor says that your type 2 diabetes is progressive and you need to go on a medication, your A1C is 6.5, and you're never discussing diet, that to me is malpractice. I mean, I just saw a thing. Royal Caribbean is getting sued because somebody got injured on the flow rider. And then he went to the medical division, and they said that I guess they checked his neck. It was fine. And when he went home, he had small fractures in his neck.
Oh my gosh.
So he's suing for bad medical opinion on the cruise ship. Well, it is a cruise ship. I mean, and then also that they didn't teach him how to use the flow rider. Like, there's an inherent risk going on a surfing simulator. I
just don't understand what's the doctor thinking here in Carla's daughter's case.
Yes.
I mean, don't.
If you can sue because I didn't think that a flow rider would be dangerous. I mean, this to me is dangerous. When a doctor is not even talking about diet at all, not even asking, what are you eating?
What are you eating?
Like, stop eating sugar, stop eating stuff that turns to sugar.
That's the first thing they ask when we brought Maisie in as a kitten. Yes, what are you feeding this cat? It's the first thing a
veterinary always asks.
So why won't our doctors ask that?
I called the vet about Winston before about Daisy. We had made the decision that we had to put Winston down, but Daisy also got attacked. And so I called the vet about that. And the vet, even though we were talking about wound care, asked me what I'm feeding her.
Even though this is an animal
attack.
Though
this was an attack by animal, and we're talking about cuts and how do I treat them and antibiotics.
Because it matters.
What am I feeding? So if a vet's first question is generally, what are you feeding them? Why isn't that what a doctor's question is?
So Denise says, I'm big on watching, scroll up a little bit, Joe, please. Watching peak. Our electric bill was $166 last month. I know this month will be horrible because of the number of days below 32 degrees. Absolutely.
Chris put up the link for the low carb events. Thank you very much for creating that. We're not really doing an RSVP. I guess we probably should. Amy's in charge of it. So,
well, I mean, I'm sure that it'll fit in the restaurant.
Yeah. We're just going to take over the restaurant.
Serena said, I'm so glad to see you, young lady. I'm overeating. Oops, where'd you go?
It jumped.
Wait till I can see it. I lost it. Go down. Go down because we did ask about meaty fan. Whoop, not too.
There it is.
Okay. I'm overeating lately. I'm stressed about finding a new job, but I need God's help because I cannot mentally deal with nursing as it is these days. So stress eating. Totally understandable. I'm so glad that you are in that job hunting process though. I'm just thankful for your health. My Joe, my daughter wants to know where you get that glass, or is it just a giant mason jar?
It's literally just a mason jar. We buy 12 at a time in Walmart, Tractor Supply, any place that sells. It's literally a ball mason jar.
Balls.
This is just a fancy design on the back, but it's literally just a ball mason jar.
Chris, thank you so much for posting our tasty air fryer link for Meaty Fan. You are such a good moderator, Chris.
Yes.
Love watching Two Crazy Ketos on our television. Haven't had a TV in about 6 months. I'm so glad you came over, Matt. That was like awesome. We had a television here. And so we were like, man, we have this television, but like, I guess we're going to wait until we finish the rooms to use it. And
I mean, we didn't even know where we were going to put it,
and then,
if it would even fit.
And then Matt was like, what? We haven't had a television in a while. I was like, yay, we have a home for the television. I love that.
Matt said 10 hard-boiled eggs, no way. 10 deviled eggs, easy peasy.
Right. Miriam said, make them eat deviled eggs. It's way easier to eat 10 of those. It is so easy to eat 10 of those. I love those.
But technically, like Chris said, though, it's 20 deviled egg halves.
Right. John said, or C, you have a gastric sleeve. I can do it in 3 meals. My maximum meat I can eat at once is about 12 ounces before I start having issues. So yes, first of all, I totally understand that if people have had surgery, things are going to be different. Why wouldn't they be? Although I will say I've met a lot of people who have had surgery, and while at the same time that they're telling me they have trouble getting this particular food in and I can't eat enough of this, I can also talk to them and they're like, but I ate a family-sized bag of Tostitos.
Yeah.
Suddenly. So you're like, I think it's more of a case of I can get in what I kind of want to, right? Because I have definitely met lots of people who have out-eaten like they're a gastric bypass surgery. It's just they have to do smaller meals. So if the priority is getting in nutrient dense food, even if you have to do it in multiple meals, do that thing.
Yeah.
Like do that thing.
I would say most people who have had gastric bypass or have a gastric sleeve should be eating 3 meals a day.
Yeah. And because again, if you're seeing somebody like me and Joe go, hey, you should only eat 2 or 3 meals a day, but it would take you, because you've had surgery, you still can't do it in 3 meals, then okay. We're obviously talking to a broad audience that not everybody has had a gastric surgery, right? So if you have, the number one priority, get the protein in. How you have to do that is going to be unique to the person.
Yeah.
Right?
Stacy said, question, I had RNY 26 years ago and I've grazed myself back to where I started keto. Should I graze on protein since I can't eat lots at once? I wouldn't graze. I would do it in 3, maybe 4 meals a day.
Mm-hmm.
Grazing, it depends on what you mean by grazing. If you're talking about eating 5, 6, 7 meals a day, I would not do that because protein does raise insulin. Anytime you eat something, you're going to have an insulin reaction. You will have an insulin reaction even when you eat fat, although it's a very tiny insulin reaction. Anytime you eat anything, if you put 1 walnut in your body, your body is going to have an insulin reaction. But protein is going to raise insulin, not as much as sugar, but it will raise insulin. Well, if you're grazing, which means just eating protein every hour, and you're up for say 8 hours, 10 hours, that's 8 to 10 insulin reactions. So I would try to do it in 3 to 4 meals. That's again, even though I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a health professional, I've really studied this well, especially for people like even my mom who cannot consume a lot of protein in a sitting. And it really comes down to, you've got to get that protein in, especially as you get older, because your body needs the protein even more as we get older. Again, do you know one of the number 1 causes of death in, like for older people is actually breaking a bone?
Right.
Like we break a hip, we break a bone, end up in the hospital, get a pneumonia. But the cause of it was brittle bones.
Where did it start?
Right. And so I would say 3 to 4 meals, if 3 to 4 times a day in getting your protein in.
Well, and the same thing, if you are on a GLP-1, then you need to prioritize the protein still. The same, what keto and carnivore has helped to heal metabolically, you add the GLP-1, if you go back to eating crap, you're going to have crap results. You may be thinner, but that doesn't mean that you aren't still susceptible. Like GLP-1s is not going to erase type 2 diabetes if you're like, I'm going to eat a bag of candy a day.
Right.
It's just not going to. It's not going to help you. If you are somebody like me who suffered with, depression, anxiety, panic disorder, bipolar disease, and you've seen what you're eating put those things into remission, if you go back to eating those things because you're like, hey, I don't have to watch things as closely, you're going to have problems. So make sure that you are still prioritizing protein. I was talking to Sarah Joy, who is utilizing a GLP-1. I share that because she's sharing it as well. I wouldn't, share somebody's business without them talking about it first. But she says, I have to track it to make sure I get it in because no, I'm not hungry all the time. And she's working with a doctor and microdosing exactly like somebody should with a doctor's supervision. And she's like, I still have to be making sure and have eyes on my protein all the time.
Andrew said, Joe, did you get the important energy unit for your electric panel? Yes, I did. It definitely opens your eyes to what wastes energy and what doesn't. Turns out our incubator uses very little electricity. So it is a help. And again, just because of like, we are on the whole like off peak and peak service, it has helped us to lower our electric bill from $500 to under $200. Now it's winter time, but last winter our electric bill was about $290, and now we're averaging around $150.
Ooh, so. Robin F just cooked dinner and recreated a dish that she had in Skagway, which was fish in a brie sauce.
Oh, very cool.
That sounds delicious.
John said it's a massive mason jar. It's a quart mason jar, but it's a wide mouth. I only buy wide mouth because
we have a wide mouth.
Well, no,
His wife has a wide mouth
for if you're going to put like sauerkraut and stuff in there. I like wide mouth to be able to get in there. I'm
thankful too.
I'm thankful too. God is good to catch you up. Breast cancer 2024. Just got a mammogram. No cancer detected. I am healed. I did chemo, radiation, holistic, and surgery.
I'm just so happy. I'm full of joy about that. I'm just so thankful, Serena. I love it. Carla said the reason she was referred to a specialist is that we have been keto, less than 20 carbs or 10 for 2 years. She had no issues until having C19 October 20. The glucose and weight keep going up. IR is over 10. A1C now 6.1. Wow. John said the sleeve's a bit more difficult to defeat than the bypass because of the direction of the cut in the stomach. The sleeve doesn't stretch as easily, but it still doesn't prevent regaining the weight. Yeah, well, I'm honestly impressed. 12 ounces at a time is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty significant amount.
Juliana said, I'm purging my closet. I'm up to a full loaf of laundry leaving my house.
Ooh, I love it. I think a loaf of laundry, probably load. I love you too, Serena. Yeah, that is awesome. It's so rewarding, and letting go of stuff is a good thing. So I need to have another yard sale. We have a thing now on the property where it can just stay there and I can just, sell stuff out of it. But we had sold like some gaming controllers that we had, in addition to clothing, but also, like a scooter. And so I see the little kids in the neighborhood whose grandpa bought them the scooter and the controllers, and they've got their cool helmet on and they're riding the scooter around. And there's so much joy that brings to me that like just keeping your stuff is not as joyful as seeing somebody else enjoy your stuff.
Right.
And so if you have lost weight and it is time for you to say, I'm not going back to this pair of pants. I don't need to hold this in reserve because I'm going back, and I can let this go. I can donate this. Know that your beautiful clothing that you have curated will go to a good source and will bless somebody else. I'm so thankful when I find a nice article of clothing in a thrift store that I can enjoy it. Right. I really do. I really appreciate it.
Chris said Chantix may cause rashes, fever, droopy lip, jazz hands, Robert De Niro face.
face.
Incredible Hulk strength.
I love it.
Miriam's vibration plate is calling her.
Mine does too. That's why I keep it in the bedroom, because it's just easier to just jump on. Joe'll be in the middle of like watching something, and it's not too loud.
No.
To be honest, it's not. Like I don't interrupt the TV viewing with me shaking. And it's funny because Maisie,
you kind of do interrupt the
Maisie
TV
gets
viewing.
On with me.
Yeah.
He likes to be on the vibration plate.
I just like to watch you on it.
Maisie is
your whole body.
Maisie is he's a Visa card. He's everywhere you want to be.
Serena said hubby and I donated 10 33-gallon garbage bags in January.
Wow. What a load off though, too.
Yeah.
Doesn't that like, don't you feel like that's a stress reliever?
I would be purging a lot more if we had bulk pickup.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't you know?
I've just gotten into, I'm just tossing it. She's like, do you want to put it in a garage sale? I'm like, no, it's not going to sell. And I don't want to see it anymore.
I'm done.
I don't want to see it anymore.
You're
what else can I get rid of?
Don't look at me.
Anything about my 3D
I'm here
printers.
to stay.
Can't get rid of my 3D printers.
Or your wife. I'm here. You're stuck with me.
Anything else?
I think we're caught up.
We are caught up. I think we're all caught up.
Rachel went full Minnesota there for a second. I sure did. I was watching Drop Dead Gorgeous. It's been a while since I watched that movie, don't you know? And it was so cute. It was just really, really a cute movie. I think it's a great movie for Kirstie Alley. Just a great movie. Kirsten Dunst is a little baby girl in that. It's a great movie.
Now we should watch Fargo.
And Fargo, yes.
Bob and Donna said, doctor on Monday, she is sending me for a pelvis scan because my A1C 5.5 and
fish has gone up. And my glucose is high.
I asked if eating a carnivore diet would be the cause. She said no. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, if your A1C is 5.5, I mean, again, I would ask them can I have a CGM for a while? Because I think A1C is an antiquated test. And if you are a true carnivore, you're seeing people who are having a little bit of an elevated A1C because, like Dr. Berry has talked about, the red blood cells may be living longer. But if your glucose is also high, the other thing I would start looking at as far as your diet is where is your stress? And then also, are you eating high protein without a lot of fat? So if you're eating high protein and not eating any fat or eating very little fat, like continually doing protein sparing modified fast kind of thing, that could elevate glucose because, again, you're not giving your body a lot of fuel. And so it's being forced to use the protein as fuel. And it does that by converting it to glucose.
I didn't share what I was drinking, which
you
is
drinking?
I am freaking loving. So I bought some just like cheap cold brew just to like have it, you know, in the house so that I don't, because I drink a lot of hot
cut down
coffee.
on my Nespresso bills.
So it's just nice to have. So nice big salty, the caramel vibes.
Yeah.
Splash of that cold brew in it.
You found the
perfection
stash of caramel vibes.
I sure did. I did. And it's amazing. So this is delicious.
I actually found in the shipping container today a thing of caramel element tea, which is like an old flavor.
I haven't seen that in forever.
What I like about the element, I prefer salty for drinking. The only thing I really like to use the element for,
the granular on top of whipped cream.
Yes, or just in general, like as a pixie stick.
Right, because it's like
when we go to a
very
theme
granular.
park, like at a game, when I'm doing lacrosse games, I like to have that, and I'll like put some on my hand and I'll lick it.
It doesn't mix quite as well as salty because it's still in like that granular form. So you've got like these balls like on the top floating, whereas I find that salty mixes like dust.
Right.
I mean, you don't see anything except for it's all mixed in.
Chris said the salty chocolate peanut butter is completely sold out.
Oh man.
So sad.
I'm not surprised but I think it's a hit. I really do.
Matt said, question, Sarah Joy told me I can get a second 3D printer if I get back pay for VA disability.
Yay.
What should I go get to go along with my P1S? Depends on what you're looking for. If I was going to do a second printer, unless you want to build a Voron, I would stick with
Get another bamboo?
With another bamboo. That's what I would say. I mean, I have 2 bamboos and I have another printer. I actually have another one sitting over here that I need to sell. This one is a nice printer. It works very well. It's just big, but takes
up a lot of space.
It's as fast as a bamboo. And it's got a bigger build space than a bamboo. And it only does one color, whereas a bamboo does multicolor. But I would go with another bamboo because they're idiot.
You know it's good.
They're idiot proof.
I mean, could I use it?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you download from Printables or Maker World? Do you know how to go through and find a model and hit download?
I think so.
Okay. Then can you press a button to open up the app on your computer?
Yes.
Can you copy the download and paste it into the app? Can you hit start? Then you can use the Bamboo 3D printer.
Look at me 3D printing like a pro.
It's that easy. It's that
easy.
Like you can literally buy it and have never 3D printed anything, and in 30 minutes after taking it out of the box, be 3D printing. It's not like the old ones where you had to learn how to bed level and everything else.
My bed's never level. So easy, even Rachel could use it. Exactly.
Chris said, no, I have the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang old bamboo song in my head.
Now I have ooh ee ooh ah ah, ching chang wada wada bing bang, ooh ee ooh ah ah, ching chang wada wada bing bang. And on that note,
we are going to get off. Thank you so much for joining us. What did Chris say? Well, actually, you can do all that on the Bamboo mobile app. It's even easier than Joe said.
Well, I
don't use the mobile app.
I like that.
We're going to get off. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back live on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern for Keto Beyond the Couch. And then, we're going to be trying to get up that vlog for the cruise, as well as we have a recipe video that we should be releasing this weekend. Everybody have a great night.
We love you guys.
Bye.